Yo, this is Alex Paquin, and this is my story. Basically grew up in Quebec City, mostly playing baseball. My brother and my dad used to play baseball, so I was more of a baseball player. Then I had to move to Montreal when I was about 12 years old, and I had to make a choice between baseball and basketball when I started playing basketball. And I think baseball was a little too slow for me, so that's where I really got into basketball and started playing more and more, so I didn't have time to play baseball anymore. You know, it takes a lot of your time during the summer, during the winter as well, so I had to make a choice and basically chose basketball over baseball. Like growing up playing basketball also, I was always very agitated kid, always wanted to jump around, walk around. I remember I'd always tap the ceiling in my house. My mom used to be annoyed with that. So I was just the annoying kid who'd wake up everybody at 6 a.m. dribbling around. And I think I really got the hang of it, and just more and more basketball, and I just kept on going. So after high school, I had to make a choice between going to prep or going to Cégep, and I chose to go to Cégep instead, to an English Cégep, so because my goal was to go to the US, get a D1 scholarship. And then that's where I started really to take basketball more seriously, to another level. My coach there was really intense, really great, really helped me a lot. And so I really worked my butt off, made the summer teams, Brookwood Elite. That's where I got to make a name for myself in the US, make those tournaments. We were a really good team, so we got to finals in many tournaments, AAU tournaments. So I got to play in front of a lot of teams and coaches. So ended up going and playing D1 in the US, American University. It's a D1 college in the US. It's in the Patriot League in Washington, D.C. It's so different than Canada, man. The US is all about sports, all about the athletes and the experience, and I got to play in front of major schools and play against bigger schools, so that was really cool. I played against Ben Simmons, but I played against Villanova when they were #1. So just all those experiences, man, it was crazy for me just coming from Montreal and getting to live all these things. And I didn't think I'd get to live when I was a kid, so that was pretty cool. So I played 3 years in the US. My first year was a little rock and roll, got injured, got a concussion my first semester. My second year was okay, did well. And then my third year I started playing a lot more, and then kind of grew into a role there. And then at the end of my third year, I had a choice to make, because I graduated college there, but I still had a year of university left, of basketball left. And then I had to make a decision whether I'd stay there for a year, or then I could come back to Canada and play for 2 more years and actually get a chance to go play pro basketball. So I ended up deciding to come back to McGill to eventually try and play pro basketball, because that was personally, that was a dream for me. So that's what I ended up doing, and committed to McGill after my third year in the US. It's really different type. It's a different sports from the US and Canada, man. The game is played so differently internationally and in the US. FIBA is much faster and much up and down. So I had to relearn how to play FIBA basketball. So I lost a ton of weight, man. My coaches, they really made me more of a point guard, a guy that's pushing the ball up and down. So I lost almost 30 to 40 pounds, I think, when I came back. So that was a big change. And then just growing into that leader mentality, because now I was a fourth year, I wasn't a first or third year anymore. So yeah, my first year at McGill, we were really good, man. We were a top team in the country all year round. And then we won the provincials, went to nationals, won our first game, lost in the semis, and then finished 4th in the country. So McGill, my first year, we had a great team. And then after that, man, I just I was hungry for more, man. At that point, I had such a great year. I had such a good year, and personally, I was getting so much better that I knew basketball was what I wanted to do. I wanted to go play pro basketball. That was it. So I really dedicated that summer, man. I worked my ass off all summer long. I remember, man, I just wake up, go to the gym every morning, running, shooting, doing drills. Halfway through, and then I was also like in a summer league, and then I would just try a bunch of things, new things, just like I was just basically like growing into the player that I want to be. And then so it was a great summer for me, man. It was just a summer where I played a ton, just played every day. And then everybody knows me in Montreal for like the Duke game now. So like that's kind of how I got into the preparation for that game. Is that like it might sound weird, but the day before I told my friend, I was like, yo, I feel like I'm so ready for this, like I could score 30. And then like you know, when you've been shooting so much and you've been dribbling so much, like you know what you can do. Now it's just like finally applying it. So that was my preparation for the game. I was just thinking about it. I was stressed, but also like good stress, you know. So like the night before, I remember I tried to go shoot, went to shoot the night before. It was late morning. I woke up, I couldn't sleep, so I just took my stuff and went to shoot again. And then the day of the game, I felt like I was so ready. I was barely stressed, you know. It was just, all right, well, let's just have fun. Let's just go play out and let's do what we can do. And then I don't know, like the game felt slow to me. It felt good. It felt nice. So I hit a shot. I was like, okay, cool, like nice. And then I hit a second. I hit a third. I was just like, Jesus. I remember at halftime, I was there, and I'm just sitting there. We're losing it was a close game. Like obviously we lost, but it was like a 10-point game, and I'm just sitting at halftime. I'm just like, wow, I really got like 20 points already. I'm just like, wow, okay, cool. Let's just keep it going. So yeah, that's how it went that game, and then the rest is history, I guess. I don't know.
As the Duke Blue Devils today will take on the McGill Redmond to wrap up their trip here in Canada. Miles northwest of downtown Montreal. This building holds 10,000. There are 10,000 people here. It is a sellout to watch an exhibition game between McGill and Duke. And the guy with the ball, Alex Paquin, number 5, is McGill's best player. The Redmond losing 4 starters from last year's team that won their conference, won the Quebec League and advanced onto the Final 8, the Canadian University Championship. So Paquin is back as their only starter. They're working in a lot of new players, and a change they have had both in the Toronto area and now in the Montreal area. How about this guy Paquin, now up to 29 points. To the building house, Alex Paquin goes out for the last time today.
Well, he deserved it. He played extraordinarily well. And
so so after the game, as my birthday was like a couple days before, so my friends organized like a surprise birthday party, and they ended up inviting the Duke team also. So the night after the game, the Duke team, they all showed up to our house, and that was a pretty cool moment. You know, you don't get to, you're sitting there just like, yo, these are like future #1 NBA draft picks. So it was just cool hanging out around them, and then like being around Zion and like the fan base he has. He's such like a shy person. It was pretty cool. It was just funny to live that, you know. I talked a bit with RJ after. I was just like, you know, after you just want to ask questions. I was like, yo, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? Like you know, you're gonna be in the NBA and this and all that. Yeah, so yeah, it was just cool to talk to these guys, and like they're just like us, you know. They're normal people that just want to hang and chill and talk to you. So yeah. So a couple months later, we were invited to a 3-on-3 tournament in China, like the FISU 3-on-3, which was really, really cool. It was my first time traveling to China, and like I didn't know much about the culture there, so just being there was just a whole culture shock. And I got to see how much basketball meant to the Chinese culture. It was crazy. Like it was a 3-on-3 tournament. I think there were more people there that are all of our McGill games. It was crazy. It was like a nicely set up like half court with like stands everywhere, people cheering all the time, and people knew basketball there. Like they looked at us, it was like, oh wow. Like anyway, it was pretty cool, like a great environment overall. During my last year at McGill, I had to completely stop basketball because of concussions. Yeah, so over my career, I had many concussions, and I just felt like that last one during my last season was like the one that made me stop, because you know, concussions is really tricky. Like it could be, one concussion could be really bad for someone, and 5 concussions could do nothing to someone. And the point where I was at is I had many like side effects so it made me kind of scared, and so scared that I had to stop playing basketball. So that's how I ended my career, and which was honestly it was like probably one of the hardest things that I've ever had to deal with. You're not prepared for it when you're an athlete. You know, you see yourself as a basketball player and nothing else. From the age of 6 to 23, I was playing basketball, and that's what I was doing on a daily basis. Everything I was doing was for basketball. After I went to elementary, I knew I was going to high school. After high school, I knew I was going to CEGEP. After CEGEP, I was going to university. After that, I was going pro. And now I'm just sitting there. I'm like, okay, what am I doing? Like, I have no idea what's next. There's no guideline. There's no straight line to life. So I've talked to many people, and that's the thing a lot of athletes had to deal with after sports. And to me, it just came really fast, kind of like a big wall that I had to deal with. So yeah. So obviously it took a few months for me to kind of get back on my feet emotionally, but eventually, you know, with work, with life, like you find new hobbies, you figure it out, right? You're an athlete, you've been there before, so you just figure stuff out. So yeah, now I do real estate full time. I was an accountant, and I quit my job to do real estate. So I'm having fun. So I'm putting all my focus, all the energy, all the hard work that I did in basketball into my work. So that's how I got through it. I just took all that like fire for basketballs, and I put it into work. And obviously now I just I'll stay in shape. I still go to McGill once in a while, like to stay in touch and play. Obviously I try to be careful with my head, but like it's just like basketball will always be like a big part of my life, you know. Like it's always fun also to see the kids now going to CEGEP, then to go play university D1, and then you get special talents like Chris Boucher or like Lou Dort to play in the NBA now. And it's crazy because he used to come to my games when I was younger, and he was a little kid. So like now I see him playing in the NBA, and I'm just like, what the hell? But then again, it's so great. It's great for the city. It's great for basketball. And hopefully I can also give back later on, like with coaching or helping kids or whatever it is. Like obviously I want to stay in basketball and in the Montreal community, and yeah, that's it.